So, the Nintendo Switch 2 is already a month old. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, time is meaningless. But you know what else isn't meaningless? The Switch 2.
Yeah? So, of course, this was announced back in what? Late March, early
This
April?
wasn't. This was okay. So the build up to this was crazy. Like, of course, back in around 2021, we had the whole Switch Pro rumors, and regardless of whatever happened to it, it was circulating our minds for the next couple of years until 2024, where it was pretty clear that Nintendo has to make a next gen console because let's face it, their first party output it's struggling a
It,
lot on
it,
the
it was
current
definitely
Switch.
starting to dwindle in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But
But and then
then,
the craziness happens around the end of 2024 when we got leaks of the system and people starting to 3D print it, and it turns out to be the final product.
yeah, then
So
when did we get. Do you happen to know offhand when we got the official very first announcement trailer?
yes, I do. In fact, it was exactly on the same day as Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Donkey Kong!
Of all the days to reveal the system, it happened to be on
Okay,
that day.
not gonna lie,
It's
that's
January
actually kind of
16th.
funny.
January
Okay,
16th.
okay. And of course, fast forward to June 5th. Well, more.
Okay, so I want to talk about my launch experience with this
Okay,
because
but before you do, remind me, they had a full on Nintendo Direct for it back in what, April?
April 2nd, and we all
Okay.
reacted to it. And I'll say the sound is one of the best directs they have because it was short and sweet to the
Yep.
point. It was an hour long, and it
I
showed
thought it
nothing
was
but
like 2
games.
hours. Damn.
No, it was 1 hour. They
Damn.
showed games, they showed the specs, they
Yeah.
pretty
Which,
much they showed what the console can do. It was a
which
lot.
of course, I'm pretty sure we can all say, Mario Kart, Mario Kart, Mario Kart.
Of course,
Because,
the
like, at first.
mandatory, the infamous
Oh, go
thing
ahead.
coming out of that direct was, of course, the price
Which
aftermath.
we'll talk about later. But, like, of course, the first thing we see in the official announcement trailer is that Mario Kart 9,
You mean
which
Mario
turns out
Kart
to be
World?
yeah, pretty well. It's pretty much Mario Kart 9. But yeah, Mario Kart World. I was excited. I really was, mainly because it looked amazing. But then, of course, when the full direct streamed everywhere, we got a lot of bangers. Of course, Mario Kart, uh, GameCube support with that
I
amazing
think the most
controller.
shocking announcement out of that for you was Bravely Default HD Remaster.
Dude, I cried. Like, I ugly cried at that. I had not played the game in over 10 years.
And you were originally going to stream it and Johnny's Subject before, and it was like, okay. And then, oh my god, they actually announced the HD remaster before you streamed it. It's like, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah, it's a good thing I held off on streaming it for a while. But, side note, since we're on that, I love the game. I do, but that final boss can die in a fire.
Yeah, the pacing is still there. It is
Yeah,
an HD remaster, not a
the
remake.
pacing wasn't my problem, but the final boss was a pain in the neck. But that being
Yeah.
said, um, of course, the moment the direct ended, people were wondering, what's the price for both the console, Mario Kart, accessories, everything.
Okay, first things first, the 450 price, that's fine. That's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Because everything they showed off, like the fact that the biggest shock to me is that the screen is like 120 FPS. I was expecting the bare minimum like 1080p 60, like the similar to the Steam Deck. But
Yeah.
no, they went above and beyond with that. Now I know there's some
Mm-hmm.
controversy going on with the screen, like with ghosting and all that. I don't know if
Honestly,
that's
I've
going to
not
be.
had any issues like that,
It's
personally.
mostly in 30 FPS games. But that's
Weirdly enough, like,
but here's the thing though: the person that reported this still gave the Nintendo Switch hardware a great review.
of course they did. They'll do anything for a buck. But yeah, like, as far as the ghosting goes, because, like, of course, I've been playing Xenoblade X, I haven't really noticed it, like, at all.
Like the only couple of games I played on the Switch 2 so far are, of course, Mario Kart, Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, which I'll talk about soon, and Castlevania, Ring Fit Adventure. I think that's it.
Yeah, like, overall, like, without going over the price, because we know a lot of people weren't happy with it at first, but like just on the hardware itself, I really like it. I really
Oh
do.
yeah, this is
A bit more
definitely
than
an
the Switch
upgrade.
One, personally. Well, yeah,
I
of
like
course
how I
the
love the screen. I'm gonna say I love the
yeah.
screen.
Now, I was talking to a personal friend of mine about this, and I kind of agree. Why do they gotta have fucking bezels? But whatever. Um, I really love the screen. It's definitely a lot bigger, of course. I can actually see everything compared to the Switch One. At
Now,
least the
just to
original.
clarify, I never owned a Switch OLED, so I have
The
no good comparison for this.
it's about as good as an OLED.
Yeah. And fun fact, the screen behind the Switch 2 is reportedly the same screen behind the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah,
And a lot of
that
people love
checks
that
out.
screen.
Yeah, I haven't used a PlayStation Portal personally. I have no need for one, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, you don't need a Wii U gamepad.
Yeah. The reason why this video is even happening in the first place is, again, it's already been a month since the Switch 2 came out. So I figured, why not do an impressions video on it? I don't know how long this video is going to be, but
Hey, gotta get that
overall,
quick views.
overall, I am very happy and very pleased with the Switch 2. The price did hurt a little, but honestly, it was worth it. I was already saving up for it anyway.
Can I talk
So,
about my launch experience with this? Not so much with the system, but more so my midnight launch. Just to clarify,
oh,
I
you
only
went to a
been to two.
midnight launch. You poor soul.
Okay, let me clarify. I only been to two midnight launches in my life. The first was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and that was clearly the first one because I was not prepared for it. I didn't bring a
Tears of the
camping
Waffle
chair.
House.
I was there a little too late. My phone battery was at 30%. Yeah, but I did get the game alongside some goodies. This
Yeah.
time I went fully prepared because I did not snag a pre-order. In fact,
Yeah,
here's the
neither
funny
did
part.
I.
I originally got two pre-orders. Well, for invites at least. One is from Amazon Canada because this was during the time where Nintendo and Amazon US was getting in a bitch fit about each other.
Yeah,
But
we'll
I
talk about that
managed
off
to,
mic. But
which I think is getting a little bit fixed in the coming months.
maybe. Who knows?
However, the Canada segment is perfectly fine, and that's how I managed to get my pre-order invite in. They did not send that invite 3 weeks after I got my Switch 2.
Yeah, like for me personally, well, granted, you know how my pre-order endeavors went. I signed up for the pre-order for Nintendo's official website, and I was also checking GameStop, and of course, GameStop mentioned, oh, you can trade in your OLED or any other Switch and get some money off. That was my plan. Needless to say, we all know how that plan went.
Oops.
Yeah, I couldn't. So thankfully, at least the morning of, I had to wait for a friend to get off work so them and I could go places. Thankfully, I made the smart move in calling other places that actually could carry it before I started driving around everywhere. Because, like, the night before, the day before, actually, like, I called the closest GameStop to me, and they said they're going to have non-pre-order units available. I'm like, cool. I may not be able to get there tonight, but depending on how things go, I might come in tomorrow. Tomorrow comes around, the day of the Switch 2 launch. I call. First thing I hear, hi, thank you for calling GameStop. We are currently out of Nintendo Switch 2s. Fuck!
Okay, this is strange because the not pre-order units vary within store because some places might have them, some places are sold out, some places have a lot in stock, some places don't. It's very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this is way better than the PS5 launch. Let's face it, you weren't able to get one easily for
Yeah.
another 2 years.
That's also part of the reason why I didn't buy one at launch. But that being said, the morning of, again, I was calling other places. I called the other two GameStops that are in, like, my general area. Yet neither of them answered their phones. And I think one of them actually got shut down. So that's probably
Ooh.
why one of the phones didn't get answered. Yeah, like, all three GameStops in my general area were sold out. I called the Target that is literally not even a 5-minute walk from the GameStop, my local one, Nope, we don't have any Switch 2s. Shit. And I of course, I checked the websites. GameStop, nothing. Target, nothing. Best Buy, it was probably a third-party reseller because I saw a $999 price tag.
God damn.
So, and like I couldn't even call the Best Buy that I frequently go to because like, oh, you have to handle it through the website. I'm like, no, fuck out of here. I want to talk to an actual human being. But then I bit the bullet. As much as I don't like going there, it didn't say anything on the website. I called Walmart, the closest one to me.
Yeah, I think by then the most reliable shops for in-game non-pre-order stock was Best Buy and Walmart.
Yeah, well, again, like I just said, Best Buy wouldn't even answer me. So I called Walmart, and I was just up front. Do you guys have any Nintendo Switch 2s in stock at all? They're like, yes, we do. I'm like, cool, I will be there in about a half hour. So I went there. I was able to get a Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. Got my copy of Bravely Default. And the 512 gig micro SD Express. I could have gotten a Pro Controller, but that would have put me way over my budget. But yeah, I got the system. I got home. I transferred everything. Which I was actually going to ask, how long did your system transfer take?
Okay, first of all, let me finish up my launch experience. So
Okay.
because one of the places I went to was actually a Nintendo-sponsored EB Games event. So I managed to get there 5 hours early this time. I brought a camping chair and everything, and I stand in the line. It was actually not a big line. Like there were only like four people three people in front of me.
Huh.
So I was like, okay, sweet. And then I stayed there for 5 hours, and then the launch
5
happened,
hours,
and I was
goddamn.
one of the first in line.
Hot damn.
And I managed to
I wish
get
I
my.
was that cool.
Also, a bunch of Nintendo representatives were there, and they were actually giving out prizes. I actually got two prizes. One was a Nintendo Switch 2 cloth, which I love, and the other was a couple of stickers. I actually got these stickers from answering a question which apparently not many people in the event know about. And the representative told me, "I will give you an extra prize if you manage to get this right." I was like, "Okay, shoot!" And she told me, "What is the name of Link's sister in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker?" And my first thought is,
Tetra.
"Wait, is it Arl?" And yeah, I got it right. Can you tell not many people played Wind Waker?
Yeah, and
If
that makes
only
you
it
say,
was re-released on the Switch.
speaking of, did you get your hands on that GameCube controller?
No, I did not have enough money because let me tell you,
That is perfectly fair.
I got the console Mario Kart bundle, of course. Question: was the bundle? Is the Mario Kart bundle came with a circle sticker on the bottom pamphlet saying there's a full game download for Mario Kart?
Looking at it, the sticker for Mario Kart World is on the very top right.
Okay, so it's the circle. Yeah, there are two brands. One is the download code, and the other is a pre-install. I got the download code,
Yeah, I got the download code too.
and I also got two games that I really wanted to get. I originally wanted to get this month because I was to save up on money, but my thought is, they said there's gonna be low in stock or maybe not available for a while because of shipping and all that. So my thought is, and why the fuck not? I'll get this. The two games were Street Fighter 6 because I wanted to play this game for a long while.
Yeah.
Another game, Cyberpunk 2077.
2027? That's in 2 years! Well, more so a year
Yes,
and a half if we're being specific.
yes, I got these games. I almost paid $1,000.
Oh my god. Man, fuck conversion rates.
Yeah. So yeah, I did not get that GameCube controller. I'll get it some other time.
Yeah, assuming it's in stock by the time you get it. But speaking of the GameCube controller, man, it feels so nice to hold a for real first party official GameCube controller again. Let me fucking tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like slipping into a nice cozy pair of slippers you haven't worn in a while.
But Kari,
so nice.
the input delay, I don't care.
Dude,
okay, it
I'll
is.
be upfront and honest with you. I have not noticed any input
It
delays.
is a
Aside from
bit
that
of
one
an
time we played
issue
F-Zero.
because Good Vibes Gaming is talking about it, and yes, this is easily launch woes, and the GameCube NSO is one of them. They'll likely fix it because they did it for N64. So yeah.
Yeah. Like, my only real issue with GameCube NSO right now is, of course, the launch lineup, which, granted, it's 3 games I've been meaning to play for
Well,
a
now
while.
4.
What do you mean 4?
Mario Strikers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That comes out soon.
No, it came out yesterday.
All right, we'll play that later. But like, my only issue is, at least at the time when it launched, of course, the lineup. But then again, it's 2 games I've been meaning to play for a while, and 1 game I've been meaning to revisit. The thing that scares me, and we've talked about this off mic, that file size.
GameCube games are much bigger in size than N64 games.
Yeah,
and remember, they have to also include the language games.
Yes, and keep in mind, not counting Mario Strikers, that app is already 5 gigs and it's only 3 games.
Yep.
I'm excited and also fucking terrified.
But still, Path of Radiance. Like, oh my god, they actually did it.
I'm happy I can actually play Pokemon Coliseum and XD without murdering my wallet.
Yeah, the GameCube NSO, I think, is going to have a lot better life on than N64. And even Game Boy Advance. And I really like the Game Boy Advance.
I do too. But we're getting off topic. Of course, the big title for everyone, a lot of people, was Herder Funny Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Let me start by saying this right now. This isn't Game of the Year. This is not Game of the Year.
I really enjoyed the game, even though I haven't played much. I do agree, though. I don't think it's Game of the Year. And that also goes for Bravely Default Remaster. I love the game. I do. But is it Game of the Year? No.
That's it. This is a good game. I'm still on the camp that I still prefer Mario Kart 8 because I just love the tracks and all the content they added in.
Oh, definitely.
And also, I'll still say the roster is the best in Mario Kart.
But, like, don't get me wrong, I love Mario Kart 8 as well, but at the same time, it does feel nice to play a brand new Mario Kart again.
Yeah. The fact we've been playing Mario Kart 8 since 2014, it's been 11 years.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure you and I can both agree on this. My only real... you could probably already guess my only real issue with Mario Kart World.
Is it unlocking the characters?
Yep.
Man, they somehow made it unlocking the characters more annoying than in Wii. How did they do that?
Yeah, like, honestly, that's my only real issue with Mario Kart World. Other than that, it's great. I really enjoy my time with it whenever I get to play it anyway.
I really like the new tracks they added. I love the look of the game. It looks great.
Oh, definitely. And I love the free roam.
The soundtrack's great.
Yeah, the
have you listened to most of the remixes?
No, I haven't. Again, I haven't had time to play the game as often as I would like to.
Yeah, I actually got a soundtrack of all the remixes. Not all the official songs because unfortunately, they couldn't find a way to listen to the music without any background noise, which means I have to wait until a clean version of Rainbow Road. Which, god damn, that song is great.
Yeah, but of course, a lot of people are in a way using the Switch 2 as the Switch Pro. Herder.
Okay, so I only tested a couple of games with this. One of the first games I actually tested with this was Ring Fit Adventure, which, by the way, Ring Fit Adventure, you cannot get this game digitally at all. You cannot get this digitally.
Yeah,
you can't even install it onto the storage.
Yeah,
and it's forever on a game card or a game cartridge.
Yeah, because of the physical accessories.
Yeah, the Ring Com.
Even play it.
So I managed to test it out.
Ring Fit Adventure, just not now.
I tested out Ring Fit Adventure. My jaw hit I actually had a Johnny moment where during one of his Sage streams, he was playing Project 06 for the first time, and he freaked out when he saw a level was loaded so fast. I had that moment too. Like, an exercise just loaded in less than a second.
My first Switch 1 game on Switch 2, you could probably already guess.
Is it Pokemon?
Yes. Scarlet Violet.
It is scary now.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying, man.
Like, oh my god, Pokemon can actually run this good. In fact, this is the first 60 FPS Pokemon.
I believe so, yeah.
There's
But
some exceptions, like I think X and Y had some modes that are in 60 FPS, and of course there's
I
the sprite games. But in terms of
yeah,
3D fully, this is the first Pokemon game in 60
yeah.
FPS.
Well, like shockingly, this is the first for real 60 FPS Pokemon title. I'll put either a link or somewhere in the
Yeah, just
video.
look up Digital Foundry's video on it.
Well, not just that. I was gonna link the Good Vibes Gaming video, which I'll put somewhere in this feed. Probably in the description. But no, but yeah, I agree. Fucking 60 FPS Pokemon Scarlet Violet, it's scary. Uh,
Also, the Legend of Zelda games, like 2D, like you will get to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom soon, but the 2D games like Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom are now fully
dude, Link's
60
Awakening
FPS.
really fucking needed this. It really did.
But so does Echoes of Wisdom, and man, seeing in full 60 is so good.
Yeah, it feels so nice.
Other surprise, and of course we have the 3D games, the Era of the Wild games. Like
Yeah, Breath of the
they're
Wild,
now now
Tears of the Bread.
unlocked frame rates, HDR, fast
Yeah.
loading.
Like,
I
speaking
think this
of,
is the reason this has to happen, because I think Tears of the Kingdom was the spark that we needed an upgrade, because Tears of the Kingdom did not run that great.
no, like, granted, I did play it. It's good. I don't think it's worth the $70 though.
To be fair, what game is?
Yeah. Actually, there is a game that's worth $70, and it's going to come out in a couple weeks. Donkey Kong.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Digimon.
No, there's rumors of it coming to Switch too, but we don't know anything yet. But
Yeah, at the time of this recording, we don't have a direct yet. We did
Yeah.
see there is the Donkey Kong Bonanza director. I will get this game one day, not at launch.
yeah, like
Because,
I'm
yeah.
personally getting it on launch, but that's also because I did not watch that direct. I'm going in completely blind.
You know what my next Switch 2 game's gonna be?
What?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 plus 4.
Yeah, I will be getting the Funny Monkey game. I'm gonna have my fun with it. Trying to think.
Can I talk about Welcome Tour?
Yeah, sure, why not? The $10
Okay, you
demo.
did try. Yeah, you did try this out, and it didn't really interest you as much. I went through all
Even
of
though I
it.
bought it.
I went through all of it, and I gotta say, this is a nice showcase of the Switch. I will say, yes, I do think this should have been a pack-in. I think Nintendo might do this in
Yeah,
the future,
like
similar to how they
Sony
do
did
the
with,
Mario Kart
Extra
bundles for
Flavor.
Black Friday. I
Yeah.
think they'll do that, because this is a really well done tech demo. Like we just found out recently, it's made by the same team behind Mario Party, and I could tell because they also did Clubhouse Games, that this is giving me a lot of Clubhouse Games
Yeah.
vibes.
Oh,
Like
also,
they just show you what
ahead.
the console can do.
Right. Going back to the hardware, those fucking Joy-Con sticks are terrifyingly smooth.
Let me just say this right now. It is unclear if people got stick drift on them. It is unclear because this is a month.
Haven't.
Yeah, I want to stick by Nintendo's comment of saying they rebuilt these sticks from the ground up. Because before we go any further, have you tried out the Pro Controller?
I don't have the Switch 2 Pro Controller.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Never mind. I hear a lot of people saying it's one of the best controllers of all time.
Yeah. And, well, like, me personally, the only reason why I don't have it is I already have 2 Switch 1 Pro Controllers.
I have one Switch Pro Controller with Hall Effect sticks.
Well, whoop-de-flippin' do. Congrats for fucking you.
Hey, look, I need the money. I'll gladly
I
fix
get
anyone's
it.
controllers.
Well, like, also, too, if I don't feel like using the Switch 1 Pro Controllers, I have my 8-Bit Do Ultimate Controller Nintendo Switch Edition, which, thankfully, it did get updated to support the Switch 2, which is very nice. Yeah, I do agree that the Switch 2, in a way, launch lineup was a little bare bones.
I want to counteract that, because think back to the Switch 1's launch.
Yeah,
There were only like 7 games.
Yeah, it was the Breath of the Wild machine and literally nothing but for the first couple months.
You either get Breath of the Wild, or you could just get Bomberman or Fast RMX or Skylanders.
No,
it's
JC,
like I think
Bomberman doesn't exist according to Nintendo.
But no, this I think this launch lineup is a little better because we had a lot of third-party support. Of course, we mentioned
Oh,
Bravely
definitely.
Default and
Also, the one thing I
Cyberpunk.
should mention, the one thing I should mention, all of these jokes that we make or possibly are going to make are all in jest. We love the console. Okay, just want to put that out there. Anyway, you wanted to talk about Cyberpunk?
I haven't played the game yet because I'm saving for a right time to play it. I can't talk about Street Fighter because I did try it out to play some couple of online matches before Summer Games Fest.
How did
Internet
that go?
aside, because I think my internet was shitting the bed that day, it looks good. It ran smooth. It's like I'm really looking forward
Yeah,
to playing this fully. And again, it comes with all the DLC characters. So well until year 3, which just got revealed. Fucking
yeah.
Ingrid.
I actually tried playing. Weirdly enough, I tried playing the Switch version of Dragon Ball Fighters on it.
How was it?
I could not get a match going.
Oops.
Like, it's not because it was running bad. No, just nobody was playing.
That's
That's all it
interesting.
was.
I did hear a lot of reports of other games that don't have patches. Like apparently Bayonetta 3 runs out of lock 60. Age of
Yes.
Calamity now functions.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this. I'm pretty sure that is the same case with the definitive edition of the first game.
Yeah, it's the definitive edition of Hyrule Warriors 1 now runs at 1080p on handheld.
Yeah. Uh, I know some other games had issues. I personally have not tested them. I might actually, thinking about it now. Uh,
I,
the My Hero Academia games on Switch, specifically ones Justice 1 and 2. Because if you look at gameplay footage of them on original Switch 1 hardware, the game lags when you do supers, specifically in 2, and oh my god, it shows.
yeah, I also saw that Neil deGrasse's review on Switch 2 runs at 60 FPS on the system. We now reached what it run on the PS5. I
Oh
also
yeah,
looked at
that one game
report.
you want me to play that I still have sealed.
God damn. I'm also looking at other reports of other games. I haven't tested out most of the non-tested games. Like I didn't test out Marvel vs. Capcom Friday Collection because apparently I just wasn't
Me
feel
either.
liking it. Uh,
Um, I personally have it on Steam, so I can't say anything.
I haven't tested out any other games I owned. I did funny enough tested out Portal 2 and made the hilarious discovery where if you play the game without Wi-Fi, the game plays just fine. If you turn
That
on Wi-Fi and activate the online servers, the game will crash.
that is a very hyper specific issue, and I don't like it.
Marcy said they're working on it, but who knows if they're going to fix it in due time.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a very strange.
yeah. Me personally, I tried Portal, can't do it. Not my
No,
type of
I
game.
like Portal. I like Portal 1 too.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think. I kind of want to go back to the hardware. It does have that classic Nintendo premium feeling, which I really like.
I don't get the arguments that it's not very innovative enough. It's like, what do you expect? We asked for a better Switch, and this is what we got.
Yeah. Me personally, I like it. I like how the Joy Cons actually fit in my gorilla sized hands.
Let me tell you one specific innovative feature it has that I think will benefit in the long run, and that is the mouse mode. Like, of course, it behaves like a regular computer mouse.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of games using this beautiful. The game that comes to mind for me is Marvel Rivals. Because fun
You
fact,
know,
on
you
console,
talk about that. I
PS5 and
kind of want to.
Xbox,
Oh, go ahead.
on PS5 and Series X, you cannot connect a keyboard and mouse to the console.
Yeah,
You
without
have to play on
using.
controller.
Yeah, either that or use an external tool, which there are
No,
plenty
no,
out there.
no, you can't. You only have to play on controller on console.
Okay.
If you want to play with mouse and keyboard, you have to play on PC.
Yeah. Speaking
But now with the
of.
Switch 2, my thought is if they're going to port this, you can use the mouse feature and completely own the PS5 and Xbox players.
Finally, my realized port, Kid Icarus Uprising HD with mouse support. Let's go!
Yes, that is another good idea because
Yeah.
for a while we
The,
have no idea how that game's going to work with
mhm.
regular controls. But now with the
Speaking
mouse, maybe it
of the
can.
mouse feature, I want to deviate. I want to use that to deviate to Brave the Default HD for a second. Again,
You
I
want to talk
love
about
that
the mini
game.
games?
Yes, I love the game. I really do. But to get those bonus outfits, as well as raising and lowering the encounter rate, you had to play that shitty fucking mini game. Like, I'm pretty sure the minigame itself is fine, which it is. I've played it. But the thing is, you use the left and right Joy-Cons as the mice. That's not my problem. My problem, and this is also because of how the Joy-Cons are designed, they're a little too thin, in my opinion. Well, like they're the same thickness as the Switch 1 Joy-Cons, which are fine, but if you need to use it like a traditional mouse for these mini games, it hurts your hands after a while. And as someone who's again got motherfucking gorilla hands, ow! I have to stop playing those mini
I only
games
tested out the
after,
mouse
like,
features via the Welcome Tour, and to be
yeah,
fair, those mini games are short, so
yeah.
yeah.
Well, like, again, I'm only playing those mini games for maybe 10, 15 minutes at a time because after a while my hands start to hurt. Again, don't get me wrong, Bravely Default HD is a great game and it's worth the price. Just, unless you want to manually raise and lower the encounter rate, don't bother with the fucking mini games. But that's just me.
Or better yet, just get one of those 3D printed mouse grips that they're making.
Honestly, that's what I'm thinking about doing. No, the thing that I wanted to mention, actually, I wonder if I can use an actual PC mouse for that. That minigame specifically.
I don't know if
Because if
they'll
I
allow
can,
that.
I'm going to be in business.
But this game will come to PC at some point.
Most likely.
It's a time exclusive.
Yeah. We just got to wait for Square to say something. Speaking of
Square...
Bravely Second HD, when? Square, please, take my money.
Well, to be fair, their next big Switch 2 titles are going to be, of course, Final Fantasy VII Integrate, which that's going to be great. And, of course, Tactics. And Dragon Quest 1 Plus and 2, which I'm so excited they're making a Switch 2 version of that because I want to play that game in 60 FPS.
Yes. Final Fantasy Tic Tacs. My beloved, you have returned to me, my sweetheart. You know how much I fucking love Tactics.
Yeah.
But, we've already seen at least a handful of the GameCube stuff that's coming. So, like, Path of Radiance, like you mentioned. I mentioned the Pokemon stuff. Mario Strikers just dropped. We got Chibi Robo, among other things.
Mario Sunshine. But I love how Mario Sunshine is on the CTR filter option, and it's a game you cannot access.
Yeah, that's funny. But as far as future releases for that goes, what's at least one dream title that you want?
Okay, first off, we're not getting Melee. No, fuck Melee.
No, of course not. No, fuck Melee.
No, wait. Here's the best. Include Melee, but it has to be the latest version because that will piss a lot of fans off.
Yeah, and that'll be funny to me because Melee as a game, I think is fine. Everything else around it can die in a fire.
We don't want to get too deep into it. Just look online. Let me just say, be warned. It is ugly.
Yeah,
but my dream games, a lot of them are third-party ones, specifically from Sega. Like, of course, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Maybe. Or who knows? You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and fucking say it. This year's the 35th anniversary. Where's my fucking remix, Sega?
Look, they're busy with Sonic Racing Crossroads. It's also got a Switch 2 version coming.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to be playing on that. Another game I also want that on GameCube NSO, Skies of Arcadia Legends.
Oh, please. Sega, take my money.
You got the Genesis. You're on board with this. This is your first third-party.
You know what? System. As weird as this may sound, give me Saturn and Dreamcast NSO. I will eat that shit up like no fucking tomorrow.
Kari. Dreamcast controller.
Hey, yo.
But we'll get too many here ourselves. What other games do I want?
Real quick.
Check.
I actually want to get my hands on the other NSO controllers, but that's a story for another time. As far as dream stuff, like games that I personally want on the GameCube NSO, obviously you took a big one, Skies of Arcadia. Give me Custom Robo.
Yeah, it's on Japanese and N64 NSO.
Yeah. Well, like,
Okay,
of course.
looking at my list, and of course we got the usuals like Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario
Yeah,
Party 6, bro, Mario Party on GameCube. I haven't played those at all, and the mic functions. Remember, the Switch 2 has a
yeah,
mic; it can
yeah,
work. Oh,
definitely.
NBA Street in Volume 3 with the Mario skins.
No, you know what? Fucking DDR Mario mix. Let's go.
It can't play on controller, so it can't happen.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, because most Dance Dance Revolution games you can play on controller.
well, then you know what that means. They need to make an official NSO mouse pad or a dance
Of
pad.
course, there's also other games like, of course, Sonic Riders. We got Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Make an
Yeah.
M-rated app for GameCube, and finally re-release Twin Snakes.
You know what? This one is gonna be a gag, but I also want to use it as an excuse to fuck with people. Digimon World 4.
Oh my god! A Kirby Air Ride, the first Kirby Air Ride,
Yeah,
because the sequel's on its way.
that would definitely be a nice addition to add. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my shelf right now. You know
There's
what?
also you go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No. I'll say Star Fox, like Steer
Yeah,
Fax Temperatures and Assault.
Steerfax.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. We've only had the one re-release. Granted, you would have probably have to go through licensing hell. Re-release the DBZ Budokai HD collection on
That is
Switch 2.
possible.
Yes. Or at the very least, port 1 and 2 to GameCube NSO, because the first two are on GameCube. Sadly, number 3 isn't. I don't know why. But either port the HD collection and make it a full HD collection so you have 1, 2, and 3. Of course, with the replaced score. Either that or put the original GameCube versions of 1 and 2 and make a faithful port for the third game.
Yeah. I'm looking at my list. They're mostly just third-party stuff. But let's face it, I don't think there's a chance in hell they're going to get Ultimate Spider-Man on GameCube NSO.
No, definitely not.
Aside from that, just go for the full Nintendo first-party guys because those are going up in price. And if you
Actually, you know what?
get
I was actually going to ask. The remake of Pac-Man World 1, is that on Switch?
yes,
Give me Pac-Man World 2 and 3 on NSO, damn it.
no, give me Pac-Man World Rally.
Yeah. You know, fun fact, I've actually never played Pac-Man World Rally. I know about it. Never played it.
Yeah, I heard it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, another one, Billy Hatcher.
Was that in the direct or no?
No, you're thinking of Chibi Robo, but Billy Hatcher.
Well,
It's only on
Chibi
GameCube.
Robo I know I saw in the official list.
Once we saw was Mario Sunshine, Path of Radiance, Pokemon Coliseum 1 and XD, Chibi Robo, Mario Strikers, and Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Manor?
Yeah, I think Luigi's Mansion might come out in October.
Most likely be a spoopy month. But I think we're kind of overblowing the Nintendo GameCube big time.
Yeah, but
As
let's
far
go on another
as-
topic. What dream Nintendo Switch 2 game would you like to see in the future?
Well, I've already said 2 of them. Bravely Second HD and possibly Digimon Storytime Stranger. Granted, they'll give me another reason to buy the game again.
No, please stop.
But as far as like original stuff goes, obviously we're getting Prime 4, and
I
Pokemon,
hope that comes out this year, mostly because I want to play it so bad.
Yeah, because like it's still slated for 2025.
Yeah, but to be fair, we already got a couple of dates. Like, we already got the release date for Drag X Drive, and that's in August. Granted, that's a smaller game, and who knows, that's
Yeah.
going to take up. We also got the release date for Legend ZA, which is October.
Yeah, October 13th, I think. No,
That just leaves
16th.
September.
Yeah, no, it's October 16th.
So yeah, that leaves September or November for Prime 4.
Yeah.
I do want to play it because the mouse mode they offered is like,
Oh, definitely.
after playing Halo on mouse, I was like, I can't go back to FPS on controller. Okay, I can because I played Doom Eternal on controller and that was fine, but it would have been a lot better if I Played it on
Dude, that was
mouse
you
and
once
keyboard.
you shifted from controller to mouse and keyboard in Final Fantasy 14.
That's another dream game I want to see. Final Fantasy
No,
14.
I I don't think so. Personally, I don't think I don't
Can't
think so.
happen. It can't happen. You could
Okay,
play it on Steam Deck.
yeah, and I've seen it runs like ass.
Okay,
Well,
how
actually,
about
no.
this another dream
I
game?
actually
And this is
haven't.
mostly
Hold
for
on.
me because yeah.
I actually haven't seen 14 run on Steam Deck, so I really can't say anything. So I don't know why I made that comment. Actually, real quick. Um, I could see this as a possibility. Probably had to go through a couple licensing hoops. Sparking Zero. I could see
I
that on
could definitely
Switch
see
too.
that happening.
Yeah,
Make like a definitive edition like they did with Kakarot on Switch.
yeah. But you
But
were
another
saying
dream games I have, and this is mostly from me, the Hoyoverse games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zeros.
I'd
Port
rather
that to
not
Switch.
see. I'd rather not see my Switch 2 melt.
You see that, but it runs just fine on phones. And I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 is about as powerful as our
Dude,
phones.
phones overheat from that. Are you kidding?
What kind of phone are you using?
Uh, for your information, mister, I don't
My
play
phone
those
is
games.
5 years old.
Actually, did you see my phone's almost 10 years old?
But yeah, I do want to see that happen, especially because Genshin Impact was announced for Nintendo Switch 1 back in 2020, and that never
Yeah.
released.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
right.
funny.
Actually, you know what? I just thought of another, at least a port, if not an HD remaster. It was on the Wii. It was on the DS. It was on everything. I want a proper HD port of the original Bakugan game.
Oh, that I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I would love it
It
anyway.
won't, because I don't think they would bother with the original Bakugan series at this point.
You know
Like,
what?
as far as video games go.
Speaking of bothering, can we finally get both Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil away from cloud games and on
Yeah,
native console,
I'll be
please?
honest, I completely agree. But bring those to actual console. Like, the cloud, at first, I thought was a neat idea. But then I saw how it ran, and I'm thinking, yeah, no thanks.
A fun fact: someone tested out Kingdom Hearts Cloud on Switch 2, and Roxas' textures was all his eyes.
Oh my god.
I'll send it to you later. But yeah, please bring those to native hardware.
Yeah. And of
Especially
course,
because I don't know
oh,
if it
go ahead.
I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 4 can function on it. I do
I
want a
don't think
port
it will.
of Resident Evil 4 remake on Switch 2.
Yeah. But actually, speaking of Pokemon, I think we are getting a Pokemon Direct at some point within the next couple months.
It's
For
likely going to show more of Legends EA and likely going
most
to
likely.
announce the dates for Coliseum
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
NSO.
Well, the thing that I was going to mention, you mentioned release dates. I know this is going to date me because I'm a fucking fossil. Pokemon turns 30 next year. What are they going to do?
Nothing.
Well, I'm getting into my crackpot theory phase, and you know how that works. Um, of course, I'm going to go out on a limb, not saying it will happen, not saying it won't. Would I like it to happen? Yes. Do I think it honestly will happen? No. Uh, the actual Pokemon games getting re-released on NSO in some way, shape, or form? Yeah,
Quick
again,
question:
I
does
don't.
Coliseum have exclusive Pokemon you can't get anywhere else?
It has a good chunk of the Johto decks, and
I'm
it has
talking
the
exclusive Pokemon.
yes, a good chunk of the Johto decks. Because
Then I don't know if they're going to incorporate because they
if
need to
we're going,
incorporate Pokemon Home on that.
yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Well, like if you were doing this as legitimate as possible in 2025 with the original versions of the games and the original hardware, just to complete one Pokedex, you need 7 games. You need Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Coliseum, and XD. Just to complete one Pokedex.
That's ridiculous.
And this is specifically Ruby, or not Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald. It's nuts.
Well, regardless, that's up to Pokemon Company. They haven't
Well,
re-released the Game Boy games yet.
no, well, the latest re-release we got was for the 25th anniversary. No, the 20th, when they re-released them on 3DS.
Yeah, and what I to tell that version, they disable save states.
Yeah, I
You
get
have to do the
why.
same for a Game Boy. Right, like they do cheating because you could
Yeah,
just save state Pokeball captures.
yeah. Like, I mean, you can just save right before you fight the fucking legendary. The smarter thing to do, in my opinion.
What about
Um,
roaming legendaries? That's going to be in Gen 3, so they have to find a way to around that.
Roaming legendary started in Gen 2, my guy.
Okay, yeah, Gen 2. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Entei, Raikou, Suicune.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, they don't want that.
but like as far as original Nintendo Switch 2 stuff goes, going back to that, trying to think.
I'll say this right now: I'm not in the need for a new 3D Mario. Like I'm
No,
okay.
well,
I mean, we
granted,
got
at the
Bonanza,
same,
and that could keep
yeah,
us
yeah,
cozy
because
for a
like
while.
Bonanza was actually developed by the Mario Odyssey team, so
Also, and I'll say this right now: can we please delay the next Smash Brothers for the next console? Because I really don't want to go to another Smash Brothers
yeah,
speculation for a long time.
if that doesn't happen, I would at least like to see a Switch 2 version of Ultimate with all DLC added. But that's about it.
I another hope more content for Mario Kart World because I have less than 20 hours into the game,
Well, yeah,
and
that
again,
kind of comes with the territory, considering it is the current Mario Kart right now. Um,
so
I'm
no,
gonna throw my hat into the crackpot theory again. Uh, Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection, please.
that's gonna happen. I want Legends first.
Well, yeah. Well, the reason why I say Star Force is, again, Nintendo. Because Star Force 1, 2, 3 were all on the DS. Either pull a Zero ZX Legacy Collection or give us full proper HD remasters. I'm pretty sure the Zero ZX Legacy Collection route is the way that they're going to go. At least regarding Capcom, anyway. I don't know what Nintendo's going to do about it, which is fine. Look, I just want to re-release a Mega Man Star Force, damn it!
I think let's just not keep it too much on third parties because they could just be released whenever they like. But to go
Oh, I
back to
know.
Nintendo, I want to see the next Xenoblade. Dude, imagine Monolith Soft working on this hardware. Like the last generation, we got the entire series.
Yep.
And now we're on better hardware. Think about it. This could be their FF7 rebirth moment.
If you say the one thing I hate, I'm cutting the recording.
Is it 60 FPS for Xenoblade?
Yes.
That's gonna happen.
Look, I know it's going to happen. I think it's just because we've played the games at 30 FPS for so long, it's what my eyes are used to.
We can say the same thing with both Legend of Zelda and Pokemon.
Well, those make sense. Those
And
need the performance
Xenoblade's
boost.
not.
Look, Xenoblade runs fine at 30 FPS. It runs great at 30.
But think about it in 60.
I don't want
Imagine they also increase the cutscenes frame rate.
to. I would actually eat my fucking hat.
I
But, like, I'm trying to think. Like, okay, if we had to come to a compromise, gameplay for Xenoblade, 60. Everything else, fucking 30. Come on.
Oh, you poor naive summer child.
Listen here, motherfucker.
But no, to go to another dream. Can we please get Mario sports games? Have content this time.
You know,
Because
shockingly, I actually didn't play a lot of Mario sports games when I was younger.
I play tennis aces, and I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
But because everything else, like golf and especially strikers, just deflated me. Like
Yeah.
I wanted
You
a
know,
new strikers for a long time, and we got Battle League.
not
Dude,
gonna lie,
after
I
playing the
completely forgot that
beta,
Battle
I
League
could tell this
existed.
isn't much better.
Not gonna lie, I completely forgot fucking Battle League existed.
It's okay. We have a better Mario Strikers on Switch.
Yeah, it just came out yesterday. We'll play that later. Um, but I'm still trying to think of like original stuff that Nintendo and other companies can do.
Of course, there's the 3D Zelda, which who knows if that's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Well, we already have it. It's called Tears of the Kingdom at 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I get it though. You know what? I'm still probably gonna die on this hill, knowing me. Crackpot theory. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD when?
They did say that just because Wind Waker's on GameCube and itself does not mean we're not getting Wind Waker HD on Switch.
Oh, I
So
know.
it's entirely possible.
Um, you know what? This isn't more so. This isn't strictly Nintendo. This goes for every platform. So, well, more so Nintendo, Sony, and Steam. Of course, you know me and my crippling addiction to Yu-Gi-Oh.
You want the PS2 games ported?
Well, not just the PS. Well, there's only one PS2 game, Duelist of the Roses.
Okay, I'm talking about the other games, like yeah, the
Specifically
PS1
the
games and Duels of the Roses and all that.
well, specifically what I want. I want motherfucking Tag Force. The PSP games.
That is possible.
Yeah. Specific. Well, like, of course, I do agree. Duelist of the Roses and False Mountain Kingdom should be re-released alongside Forbidden Memories. Like, make that a compilation. Don't make them separate releases, personally.
No, I think Konami's gotten a lot better with collections.
Oh, definitely. Especially with...
Speaking of which, I also want Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh collections go, I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, like give us an updated later days collection that has like the PSP stuff, the DS stuff." And honestly, I agree that is what I want. Mainly because don't get me wrong, I didn't mind dropping the money, but I really want to play those games in English. Granted, I can right now, but I want them on official hardware. You know.
But to go back to me with Nintendo stuff, I would like to see the next Fire Emblem because I've
Yeah.
been playing. I just finished Awakening a while ago, and now I'm on a Fire Emblem
Yeah, that
kick.
reminds me. I still need to get Three Houses and
Three Hopes. Oh okay.
No, I'm talking pure Fire Emblem.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Three Houses runs way better on Switch too. Because let's face it, you can now zoom out the map without the game running at 10 FPS.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to be to get both Three Houses and Engage. I'll get them. I just need to find the time and the money.
Three Houses, I think you can get at a decent price. Engage is fairly recent, so I don't know. You have to pay for full price.
We'll talk about it later.
I'm trying to think of anything. I would like to see an ARMS sequel because we're just mainly because they just revealed Splatoon Raiders and we don't know much about it.
Really,
So
I did not hear anything about this. We'll
you
talk about
really.
it later.
Okay, I'll send it to you later. But I would also like to see an ARMS sequel because I like that universe.
That would honestly be an out of left field thing, but I wouldn't mind it because we got what's her name in Min Min in Smash.
Of course, there's Pokemon. Like, it's likely we're gonna see Gen 10 on the Switch too.
Yeah, on hardware, yeah, Switch 2. If I honestly don't know if they're gonna pull that on the 30th anniversary. Honestly, I kind of hope they don't.
You say that, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was 2022. It's prime, and it was revealed was like 3 years after Sword and Shield. We're now due for another Pokemon gen. But granted, I think you saw that Game Freak's new game at Xbox Showcase, and how it's barely different than Pokemon.
Fuck are they cooking? I want to play it.
I do think after the reception to Gen 9's technical failings, I do think they'll give them more time to spruce things up.
Aside from the technical mishaps here and there, which shockingly I didn't encounter much, I really enjoyed Scarlet and Violet. I really did.
And what we're seeing with Legends ZA on Switch 2, it looks like they're sprucing it up.
Yeah. Even though it's just, hey, it's Xenoblade, but with a Pokemon skin.
I'm talking more about presentation stuff
No,
like that. It
I know.
still looks decent. It runs at much better than Legends Arceus. So, yeah, I think Game Freak has the hardware they need. You just need the more time. And I
Oh,
don't know if
definitely.
Gen 10 releasing soonish is gonna mitigate that,
Okay,
but we'll
I
see.
should have been more specific. I don't want to see an announcement for Gen 10 on Pokemon Day.
No, no, next year.
No, JC, that's what I mean for next year.
Oh, you don't want
If
to see
we
Gen 10 next year?
no like I wouldn't mind seeing Gen 10, just don't announce it during the Pokemon Day Direct. Like if they announce it
Maybe
like
announce
let's
it
just
at like an Eat Summer Showcase for Nintendo?
yeah, like if they do it like let's just say 2 or 3 months after Pokemon Day, I'd be perfectly fine. But what I really want from Pokemon Company, well, Game Freak and Pokemon Company, I know Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl were not the best remakes.
If you're gonna say Gen 9 remake, get out.
There's no reason for Gen 9 remake, you fucking
I mean Gen
dumbass.
5, Gen 5. I meant to say Gen 5.
I would like to see another remake. I don't care what gen, I really don't, but I at least want to see another remake.
The only remake still like the fan base will accept. Okay, let's face it, they'll never accept anything. Is Gen 3 because
Yep, we already had the remakes for
because
the
remaking
Omega
Gen
Ruby Alpha
2 and
Sapphire.
Gen 5 is like trying to remake Super Metroid. You cannot
Yeah.
like
Like, they got the
yeah.
one remakes, and quite frankly, that's all they need. At least for
Yeah,
Gen
Heart
2
Gold and
anyway.
Soul Silver and Soul
Yeah.
Silver.
And of course, Gen 1 has been remade like 30,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
But my honest answer, I would like to see a remake of a game people were not expecting. What that game would be, I don't know.
Hey you Pikachu.
And Pokemon Channel, dude, Pokemon Channel on GameCube
No,
let's go.
Pokemon Box.
Oh, hey, just
Look, we
buy
need to
Pokemon.
bring down that price of $10,000 on eBay. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, hey, I just bought a copy of Pokemon Box for $1,000. 20 minutes later. Oh, hey, GameCube update. Pokemon Box. Yeah, like my honest answer, I would like a remake of literally anything. Mainly because it's Pokemon. Me being a big Pokemon fan, I'll take it. Even though I personally have a little bias towards the funny digital monsters, but that's just me. Now, if I'm throwing on my funny crackpot theory hat on, give me more Mystery Dungeon.
Hmm.
Specifically, a remake of the third DS game, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky.
You're gonna get a remake of Super Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
I feel like killing myself.
Okay, I think we're running out of thoughts to talk about the Switch 2 yet. I want to end it up on this. Regardless of what games we're getting, I want to say this right now. I don't think this is going to be a situation with, back in 2017 to 2019, the Switch 1 and 3DS
Right.
release catalog was so annoying to a lot of people. Like, you'll get all these neat games like Persona Q2 or Ever Oasis or remakes of
Yeah.
like Luigi's Mansion or Bowser's Inside Story, and they used to say, "Why can't I play this on Switch?"
Right.
Now we don't have that issue. You want
No.
to play games like Sonic Racing Crossworlds or some cute indie games or like a retro collection. You can play those on Switch too.
Yes.
Like the next direct we're gonna see like Switch One games. You're gonna be excited regardless because you can play this on your new console. We're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
get not gonna get that 3DS mishap
No.
anymore. But and
No.
also I'll say this right now, I think the cross gen is only gonna last like 1 or 2 years because I think a
Yeah.
lot of developers want to move on from the Switch One.
Oh, definitely. Like,
Yeah, this is not going to be like a PS5 situation where we're still getting PS4 games in 2026.
yeah. But the last thing I honestly want to say, as a general consensus, well, a couple things. Number one, yeah, the Switch 2 price was a little miffed. Number two, the Switch 2 hardware is very good in my opinion. A lot better than I was expecting. Number three, I feel this and next year could be the next couple big years for Nintendo. I really do.
It's already started. Like the Switch 2 is now the fastest selling gaming console of all time.
Take that, you fucking Wii U.
No, it's almost halfway through the Wii U's lifespan.
And that's funny.
A
Yeah.
month later.
Just the overall power of the Switch 2. It's really good. A lot better than I was expecting. And I normally don't do ratings for consoles, mainly because I find it silly.
I don't rate my consoles either. I just rate them on
neither do I.
libraries and
Yeah.
the longevity.
Like overall, if I were to give this a something out of 10, it's a 9.5 for me.
Or a
personally.
B plus.
No, I'd say a solid A minus.
I will say this. There's a couple issues with it. Yes, we should have gotten like more Nintendo personalities with the UI. I hope that gets fixed in the long run. I do wish we got a better battery life because it was perfect with the red box Switch. I kind of wish they could splur for an OLED screen.
I'm pretty sure they could. Maybe within the next couple years down the road, we'll get a Switch 2 OLED and then a Switch 2 Lite.
Also, of course, fixing a lot of technical issues like the ghosting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the storage. I want to say this right now. I hate that we have to start over from micro SD cards. I understand why.
Yeah, I really get why. But
especially because a lot of games are going up in file size.
Yeah. Again,
I'll say this right now: 7 Remake Integrate, it's going to be close to 100 gigs.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You've seen it on both PC and PS4 and PS5. It's almost 100 gigs.
I've mentioned it before. We talked about it earlier in the video. I love the GameCube stuff. I do. But the file size is already, let's just say, 7 gigs. And that's just starting out. The fact that it's going to get bigger is terrifying.
Yeah. But regardless, everything we've experienced with the system so far, it's been positive. Yes, there's going to be a lot of growing pains and launch woes.
Oh, definitely.
That's the thing with every console launch. But what we got here, it's very appreciated.
It's very solid.
If you want my honest opinion to those who haven't picked this up yet and still debating on whether or not to get this, if the launch lineup or all the scarcity and all that didn't really interest you as much, here's my honest opinion. Wait until this holiday. Because we're going to get a lot more in stock. Nintendo's going to reach a bunch of bundles and a lot of games. Let that be your decision. And if not, just wait till the next holiday.
I just realized we glossed over one minor nitpick. The fact that there's only 2 fucking themes again.
I mentioned that, the Nintendo personality. There is a rumor saying they're going to release themes in the future, but regardless,
at least give us different colors. That's all I want.
But regardless, this is a very, very impressive piece of hardware.
Yeah. Overall, it was honestly money well spent. But yeah, that was our impressions.
How long have we been going?
A little over an hour. About an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh my god, remember I said this is going to be lasting, not going to be too long of a discussion? We went over an hour.
Look, JC, here's the thing. To give you an idea as to how much I often don't shut up, I was trying to get a hold of some friends. We were going to record something. We went off topic, made the recording, and that video was like 4 hours. Did I upload it? No.
Oh my god.
It was just me and a bunch of friends BSing with 14. But, yeah. Again, it's been about a month since the Switch 2 came out. In literally about an hour and a half because of time zones. It will be a month since the Switch 2 came out, and this was a very good impressions video to make. I had a lot of fun. And JC, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that being said, this video will be uploaded on the day of the quote-unquote anniversary.
The 1 month anniversary.
Yeah. With that being said, everyone who listened or is going to listen, you guys have a wonderful day, and you take care. Be safe, everybody. Bye.
Also, one last thing: game key cards are not digital codes. Get that out of your fucking heads.